What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Hitting the Field. It is currently 12:01 on Monday, and Joe Judge is still employed. I am your host, Alex Funderburke, and we are finally back from a long break. We have a great show for you today. We're talking some NFL awards, some playoffs, and then we're going to talk about the NBA All-Star voting, as well as all the COVID issues in the league. Last, but certainly not least, we will introduce the person who will have this seat after I graduate this spring. Let's get it. We'll be right back after this.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
It is now 12:02 p.m. on Monday, and Joe Judge still has a job. But the NFL regular season has come to a close, and it's time to discuss some awards. I'm now joined by a resident Giants fan, Johan, and my boy Jeff, to talk about it. Gentlemen, how are you doing? I'm going to start with Jeff because he's a sad Browns fan, and I like bashing the Browns.
I'm doing wonderful. You know, another season, another playoffs miss. You know, last season, finally we made the playoffs, and then this season, injuries, COVID, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
For sure. And Johan, Joe Judge is still employed, so how you feeling, dog?
I'm feeling miserable. Joe Judge is still our coach, and Kenny Golladay had 0 touchdowns.
Hey, look at it this way, Johan. Me, you, and Jeff combined had as many touchdowns as Kenny Golladay this year.
Pretty talented.
Talented. We're a talented bunch up here. But I want to jump into the biggest award right away. MVP. Jeff, I want to throw it to you first. Right now, who do you think is your MVP?
Aaron Rodgers, and he's just playing at a different level overall. You know, when he steps on the field, an elite presence, and there's nobody else in the league, contrary to your belief, that brings his team back into the game more than him. You know, when it's a one-score game at the end of the game, teams are literally sweating their eyeballs out because they're like, bro, Aaron Rodgers on the other sideline, Aaron Rodgers on the other sideline. There's no other player in the NFL besides Mahomes, besides Brady, that's like Rodgers. There's 3 or 4 elite talents in the league, and we got to see one of his greatest seasons this season.
Look, that's definitely not a bad pick. Johan, who are you rocking with as MVP?
I'm going with the old man. I'm going with old man Tom Brady. Listen, I mean, he is first in yards thrown. He has over 5,300 yards, passing yards, mind you. And he's first in passing touchdowns with 43. He's 44 years old. This man's an old man, and he's doing this. And not only that, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense has been pretty banged up this entire season, and he's been able to lead them to another playoff. So you have to give it to him. With his age, with the stats he's been doing, you have to give it to Tom Brady.
Look, I'm not mad at that pick either, but look, I want to mix it up. Let's have some fun. My MVP is Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow. I mean, what he's done for the Bengals this year, got their first division crown since 2015, 4,611 yards, 34 touchdowns. Now, he did have 14 interceptions. That is a knock against him to Aaron Rodgers' 4. What 4 interceptions on a season is madness. But I hate Aaron Rodgers, so I don't think he's MVP. Yeah, I got to rock with my boy Joe. What do you guys think about what Joe Burrow has done this year?
Well, listen, if there was a fan favorite award, it would go to Joe Burrow. But listen, what he did with Cincy, he turned that franchise around after an abysmal last 2 seasons. I mean, first off, they kept saying he had no offensive line. They kept telling the Bengals to draft Penei Sewell, draft more protection. And when they drafted Jamar Chase, what happened? They became one of the top offenses in the league. And I think that with that, you have to give it to Joe Burrow. You have to give it to the Cincinnati Bengals because now they're turning that franchise around. And look, they might make a deep playoff run.
It's definitely possible, Jeff. I know that's your division rival, but what's your take on the Bengals this year?
Their defense is soft, but their offense is really, really good, and they're going to make up for a lot of their defensive, downfalls. Get them a practice facility, please, Cincinnati. Stop being broke. Come on, man. I know your franchise has been around for not too long now, but to be the only team in the NFL that doesn't have an at-home practice facility, it's disgusting. And you have a really good offensive unit that could, like you said, take them far in these playoffs.
Yes, please get them an IPF instantly. But switching gears from MVP, Johan, me and you have the same pick here, but so we'll let Jeff go first.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year. Who you got, Jeff?
Mr. Jonathan Taylor. Look, Grant, I know you guys didn't end out on the strong way, losing to the Jags yesterday, but he's had an incredible season. He's broken records all the way back from Sean Alexander's days, and he won the MVP in his 2005-2006 season. So honestly, I believe he deserves it more than Mr. Honestly, he's the most solid player out of all of the players besides Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp has just had such an insane season. He's had an MJ type of season and transverse worlds from basketball, football. It's just been an insane year for Cooper Kupp.
So Jeff spoiled it. Johan and I rocking with Cooper Kupp. 1,800 yards, 15 touchdowns. Talk about the man, Johan.
138 receptions. Can you believe that? 138% receptions. These are Calvin Johnson numbers. Literally. He was almost 20, 30 yards away from breaking his record. Throughout the entire season, he's just been consistent. Fantasy-wise, he's been a monster. I've faced him a bunch of times. I've got killed by 40. It is what it is. But listen, he has been one of the main, if not the main reason why the Los Angeles Rams have been so successful this season. And you cannot give it to anybody else but Cooper Kupp.
For sure. I'm rocking with Cooper Kupp. But I want to speed this up a little bit because I do want to talk about the playoffs. Defensive Player of the Year. I got Micah Parsons. I think what he's done this year, he's played seemingly every position. He covered Kenny Golladay in the red zone and broke up a touchdown pass. It would have been Kenny Galladay's only touchdown on the season.
It's not that hard to cover Kenny Golladay. Gosh, it's not that hard.
He's a defensive end. Look, Micah Parsons, my pick. Quickly, guys, you guys have the same pick here. So, Johan, give us your pick.
It's TJ Watt. It is the beast. That man has been a beast this season, and 22.5 sacks this season. If I didn't like Big Ben so much, they deserve to go in the playoffs because of that defense. He's been the anchor, and he's been so impactful on that end for the Steelers.
If the offense has a game plan for you, you're a freak athlete. They have to game plan around that man because they know he's coming full force, demolishing offensive linemen in his way,
I'm not mad at the pick. I'm just picking Parsons.
Because you're a Cowboys fan.
Because I'm a Cowboys fan. 100% because I'm a Cowboys fan. And because Parsons has played everywhere on the field. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'll go quickly. Mine's Jamar Chase. 1,400 yards on 79 receptions. That's madness. It's 18.1 yards per reception, 13 touchdowns. Give it to Jamar Chase.
Listen, that's the consensus pick, but I'm going to go with the sleeper. I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts. He's had one of the greatest rookie tight end seasons of all time, almost similar to Tony Gonzalez numbers. The only knock on him is that he had one touchdown, but the man is a matchup beast. He's too fast for the linebackers, and he's too big for the corners. So anywhere he lines up on the field is a nightmare for anybody.
And I'm going to have to go with New England Patriot Mac Jones just because of what he's done for that offense. The offense has Kendrick Bourne as their leading receiver. Kendrick Bourne.
He's an elite.
Kendrick Bourne.
He's elite.
He's
at
a deep
the ball
threat.
off.
But he's transcended the offense from 27th in scoring to now 8th in scoring. Rookies just don't do that. And Bill Belichick hasn't asked too much of him, which is the perfect, recipe for success in New England.
Elite at handing the ball off.
Yeah.
All right, so for Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to count down to 3. We're all going to say the player's last name. 3, 2, 1.
Parsons.
Okay, cool. Let's jump into the playoffs now. We got some fun first-round matchups. Yeah. I think everyone on earth is looking forward to Chiefs Steelers. I think that's the best game. No, I'm kidding. That would be 70-0 at halftime. Jeff, what's the playoff game you're most looking forward to?
I'm honestly looking forward to the Bengals and Raiders. I know people are thinking the Raiders are the weakest, team in their own, conference, but the Raiders have something to play for. I know you hate them personally, but I think that they can make it far somehow. That's the only AFC wildcard team that I'm they're going the way. Because the Bengals defense just hasn't stopped anything. And the thing about the Raiders, they shut down Justin Herbert last night in one of his first prime seasons. This is an amazing season for Justin Herbert. He's not even entered his prime yet, I'm saying, but he's edging into it because he can run the ball fluidly and he can pass the ball fluidly, and they shut him down. So I think the Raiders have a good chance to go.
Huh? Did he just say they shut down Justin Herbert? The same Justin Herbert.
Did they win? Did they win?
Not because of Justin
that's not
Herbert.
shutting down. That's not shutting down.
They gave up how many fourth down conversions on that last drive? But we got to get to our Super Bowl picks. I'm flabbergasted. He just said they shut down Justin Herbert because they did not. Who's going to the Super Bowl, Johan? Don't tell me your winner yet.
Okay.
Who's going to go to the Super Bowl?
Okay, so in the AFC, it's the Chiefs, obviously. It has to be the Chiefs. I mean, they've just been on a roll for the last part of the season. And then the NFC, it's so wide open that it's really hard to pick, but I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams in this one. I'm going to go with the 4 seed.
They'll have a home Super Bowl. It's in L.A.
I mean, let's hope for it, but I just think they're one of the most dangerous offensive teams in the league. If that defense can stay healthy, they're a very complete team in the NFC.
All right, Jeff, don't tell me your winner, but who is going to the Super Bowl?
The New England Patriots.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
God.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
God.
The
Oh
NFL is gonna make it happen. Look at the revenue. The revenue is already shooting up.
Oh my gosh.
The revenue is already shooting up for rookie quarterback to beat out their old New England Patriots quarterback, Mr. Thomas Brady. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I wish y'all could see everyone in the studio's face when Jeff just said that. Everyone's jaw hit the floor. It's going to make my hot take look smart. Thank you, Jeff. My Super Bowl matchup is Cowboys-Chiefs. But let's get into winners real quick, guys. Johan, who's winning the Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
Who's winning? Actually, I don't care. Don't give it to me. I also have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Don't care about Jeff's prediction.
Bucks.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about the NBA All-Star. Just go to commercial. Get Jeff off the set.
I'm already leaving.
Why? Because I am a New York Giants fan, and I want my first pick of the week to be my team. I see an upset for the New York Giants this Sunday. Bet your entire savings, and I'm telling you right now, they're gonna win. I don't care what you say. It's gonna happen.
I'm going to go Yankees 4-1. I think Garrett Cole's going to give them 7 shutout. It's Garrett Cole. I trust him in this type of situation.
2-1 pitch.
The Yankees lost to Boston in the wild card game, and I told Johnny if my boys lose, I'd come on the show in this.
I have to go with the Raiders, I think, for this one. I don't see them losing.
Welcome back. It is now time for our primetime picks of the week, the best segment. I'm currently doing awful, standing at 16-10, Oklahoma State and Texas. I'm going Texas 35-27.
UCF keeps the 30 points per game streak alive. I'm going to go 35-10. UCF wins.
We're back. It is 12:14 on Monday, and Joe Judge is still employed. The NBA season is in full swing, and All-Star voting is underway. I'm now joined by my boy Gadiel, my boy Riley, to discuss all of this. Riley, I want to start with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Look, we're back. We're back. The NBA season is in full swing, and this is going to be a fun semester.
It is going to be an amazing, amazing semester. I'm very excited. Gadiel, what's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good. I look great. We're back. Joe Judge is back. This world could not be better right now. So let me tell you, we're going to talk some NBA. It's going to be some fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And Riley, I don't know if you know this, but we're with an NBA Twitter celebrity.
NBA Twitter celebrity?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. I tweet out memes sometimes, guys. It's not that serious,
he is
I promise.
Famous on NBA Twitter. So if the season ended right now, you're leading vote getters. I mean, they're who you think they are. LeBron, Nikola Jokic, those guys. But, Gadiel, who do you think should, not who will, who do you think should be the All-Star starters?
All-star starters, a lot of the people are run-of-the-mill. You got LeBron, Steph, Jokic. We're talking Western Conference, I guess, right now. LeBron, Steph, Jokic, and then it gets a little bit dicey. I know a lot of people want to see Luka, but actually I'm going to go in a different direction here. I think it should be Ja Morant as the second starting guard for the West. What he's done with the Memphis Grizzlies, who are probably the most top-tier surprising team this year. I know the Bulls, some people didn't expect them, but the Grizzlies, not a lot of people even had them making the playoffs. And right now they're 28-14, I believe 6th in net rating. They have a top 10 offense, top 10 defense. It's a recipe for a playoff contender. So what Memphis is doing, spearheaded by Ja, I think he should get the nod. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but the way that things are going right now, with everybody injured, COVID, people missing games, I think Rudy Gobert might end up being an all-star starter in the Western Conference. He has the name cachet, he has the elite record, and he's anchoring an elite defense. Not a lot of people want to see it, but it makes a lot of sense.
He just got COVID again.
It's nothing new to him.
Wait, maybe that means the world will go back to normal because he's the one that started all this in the first place.
Nature is healing, people. Nature is healing.
No, let me just go back to Gadiel's point about Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. They were playing phenomenal basketball even before Ja Morant came back with that really scary ankle injury that I'm really glad it was only a sprain, and I think we all are, because Ja Morant has been one of, if not the most entertaining players in the NBA the last few weeks. Let's just talk about that block last night.
Oh my gosh.
How do you jump so high that your shoulder is at the level of the rim? And then later in the game had the alley-oop where he basically got the same height. Like, what?
He's playing like Dom James in Space Jam 2. It's truly unbelievable what he's able to do.
If we're talking about Western Conference starters at center, what about LeBron James? I mean,
Lakers have done good with LeBron at center.
6-1. I think that was their first loss that they lost with LeBron at center.
The problem is they have Russ at point guard. They need Russ on the other side of the country.
Send Russ to China.
Whoa. Whoa. It's a little much.
Sorry.
Damn.
He's not good. He's the Ninja Turtle is not good. Let's switch gears to the Eastern Conference, please. I think everyone's kind of been shocked by DeMar DeRozan this year. I was trailblazing the campaign for the Knicks not to sign him, and now I look like an idiot.
You are.
No, I'm very much so.
DeMar to MVP?
DeMar to MVP. I'm down.
I'm not down with that.
Why are you not?
We're just gonna stop this.
Why are you not down?
Dish stick. Let's move on.
What do you have against DeMar DeRozan?
Nothing. He's a top 8 MVP candidate right now. It's just not DMVP.
DMVP, in my opinion, is Ja, but I'm not mad at DeMar. Riley, thoughts on DeMar and the Bulls kind of as a whole?
The Bulls are going to surprise a lot of people when the playoffs start. They could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think they would beat the Nets or the Bucks, depending on how the playoffs seed out. But they have a good team. I'm glad Lonzo has found a home. He's excelling with his role with the Bulls, and I think that was great for him. And the Bulls are just good. DeMar and Zach LaVine playing together surprised a lot of people. A lot of people thought they would struggle, but look, the Bulls are good.
No, the Bulls are good, and I was one of the people saying that they were not going to be good, so I'll eat that one. The idiot, yes. So I think we kind of know how the starters are going to shake out. You got KD, you got Giannis, you got Joel Embiid, DeMar. But that other guard, it could be Trae Young, it could be Zach LaVine, it could even be LaMelo. Gadiel, who do you think it's going to be?
As bad as maybe of a season that the Hawks are having, I think what Trae is able to do is just so overwhelmingly unbelievable. As an offensive engine, he truly is the reason why the Hawks are a top 5 offense. They're
the reason?
Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Trae Young, he's really been fantastic, and I think he deserves that nod. He had 56 and 14 the other night in a losing effort, but how much more can Trae Young really do?
Who cares? He lost.
I would love for him to play some defense, maybe try to get over a screen every once in a while, but I know that's a lot to ask of Trae Young. But I do think, statistically speaking, he fits the criteria to be an all-star starter, so I think he will get that nod. Although I would not be opposed, since Kyrie's been out, since James Harden's been out, to a Chicago Bulls starting backcourt as the all-star starters. I think they deserve it. They've been that good between Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan.
So I'm going to say this. I'm biased. I hate Trae Young. He killed my team in the playoffs last year. I will never like Trae Young. So, Zach LaVine, you're going to start the All-Star game. Riley, what do you think?
Look, I'm going to go a different route. I think Fred VanVleet should
that's not a bad pick.
Get that starting Eastern Conference guard spot. Nobody thought the Raptors were even going to be contenders. They have a 7th seed right now. They're one of the hotter teams in the NBA, and a lot of that has to go to Fred VanVleet. How he's been able to control that Raptors offense. He's averaging around 22, 6, and 5.
And he's a great defender,
something like that, and especially on the defensive end, he's been their anchor. And the Raptors, they have a lot of young players, but a lot of people thought they were going to be a lottery team. A lock is a lottery team, but I could see them as high as a 5 seed come playoff time.
I think we're all sleeping on Darius Garland a little bit.
That's
I think he
another one.
deserves some consideration.
He definitely should make the All-Star.
Yes,
absolutely.
If he does not make the All-Star team, I think all three of us will riot. Guys, I want to kind of talk about how COVID's taken over the league. Seemingly everybody has it. At this point, we're having replacement players for the replacement players. Do you think Adam Silver needs to take like a 2-week pause to figure this out?
You know, at first I was like, you know what, you don't want to ruin the product, but at the same time, I've seen so many guys, namely for the Miami Heat, because that is my team, that is who I watch night in and night out.
He's famous.
You've seen guys get opportunities, and most exclusively Kyle Guy. He just got signed to his second 10-day contract. These guys, they're fighting for their jobs, so maybe the product level goes down a little bit for the NBA, but you see these guys that work their entire lives for this opportunity, even if it's just for 10 days. To see these kids' dreams come true is really something that's special, and then when they take advantage of it and then they actually get signed to a full NBA contract, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. So maybe it's not the best for the bottom line or the overall product of the NBA, but the types of stories that they're making and giving some of these people is fantastic, and it's one that fans really should be rooting for. So hopefully the COVID issue is not an issue by playoff time, but for the regular season, I think you're seeing more of an impact on coaches as opposed to players. Like, the great coaches are the ones that are really excelling right now, and the coaches that aren't that strong are the ones that are maybe underwhelming a little bit.
And the young players are definitely one of the best stories, the best parts about this NBA season. The guys that have spent their entire careers in the G League that are now getting an opportunity and taking advantage of that opportunity. But another player who had a lot of experience in the NBA, a lot of years under his belt, and is now back and just got signed for the rest of the season, Lance Stevenson.
Yep.
Lance Stevenson has used his opportunity with the Pacers, and now the Pacers have even more depth, which was already one of the stronger parts of their team going into the playoffs. They're, I think, a lock to make the playoffs this season, and Lance Stevenson is going to play a big part of that.
Well, I wouldn't say a lock, but they have a chance to make the play-in.
I mean,
they're not that good.
Lance, what was his second game back? He came in and scored 20 in the first quarter.
I think against the Nets too, right?
Yeah, I think it was against Brooklyn too. Lance has been an amazing story, and I believe that Gerald Green is going to the Rockets G League team after being an assistant coach because they need him to play.
He was an assistant coach?
Yeah, he was an assistant coach.
I love the NBA.
And now he's going to their G League team. It's tricky because, like, yeah, you do get all these really cool stories, but there are so many people getting COVID, and we don't know what the after effects of this thing is. And that's kind of scary, but I guess there's nothing you really can do to stop them from catching it. You're just stopping them from playing basketball. So I get why Adam Silver doesn't want to stop the season, but dude, everybody has it. It seems like. I mean, I think the only team that weren't affected were the Jazz until a couple days ago when Rudy Gobert got it. But real quickly, predictions right now, quickly. End of season. Season's over. We're in the playoffs. Who's in the NBA Finals, Riley?
That's tough, but repeat. Bucks are going to repeat. They're going to win the NBA championship back-to-back years. Giannis is playing unbelievable basketball right now. Chris Middleton has really kind of proven that he's not an inconsistent player. He has that playoff experience under his belt. Coming out of the West, it's got to be the Warriors. It has to be the Warriors. Klay Thompson, I was really expecting him to struggle last night in his first game back. You know, get his feet underneath him a little bit. Been out of the league for nearly 3 seasons, 3 years. That's unbelievable. And he didn't seem like he missed a step. 17 points, 3 for 8 from beyond the arc. And the Warriors are just so much deeper than they were when they had their dynasty. I mean, Jordan Poole, Gary Payton Jr., all these guys have really stepped up.
They're going to get Wiseman back too.
They're going to get Wiseman back. Andrew Wiggins has accepted his role as the third best player on that team. The Warriors seem unstoppable.
Third best player? Ahead of Draymond?
4th? Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
No, I love Draymond. He's the greatest glue guy of all time. So just got to give my guy some credit.
Quickly, back to you. Who's in the NBA Finals right now?
100% agree with literally everything Riley
Okay,
said.
cool.
Couldn't have said it any better.
So all three of us agree. We're going to cut to commercial. When we come back, I'm going to tell you if Joe Judge is employed or not. Spoiler alert, he probably will be. And we're going to introduce the new host of Hitting the Field. Be back in a second.
I'm in charge of the meeting this week. So you know what we're going to talk about? Basketball. The second thing we're going to talk about this week is basketball. Okay? And the third and last thing we're going to talk about is basketball.
Yeah. God, yeah. It's ridiculous. I want to quit. Can I quit? Take that.
Look at the screen. What are we talking about this week?
Basketball.
We're back, and it is 12:26, and Joe Judge is still employed by the New York Giants. Sorry, Johan. And spoiler alert, he's staying. They announced that he will be back as their head coach. Thanks for a great show, everyone. We killed it. This was fun. But one thing I will be forever grateful is for my opportunity to host some of the main shows last spring semester. Jarrett Kappelman giving me those opportunities helped me become better at hosting. And after talking to Johnny Jackson, we agreed to continue that little tradition. And over break, Johnny and I held auditions to see who would take over this seat. And let me tell you, all three people who auditioned killed it. But we ended up on one person, and that one person is Hannah Jo Groves. She is going to do an amazing job, and you'll see her at least once a month in this host seat this semester before being the main show host next school year. Hannah Jo, I'm going to give you the floor. Introduce yourself to the world. I'm going to stop talking now.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Alex. As you said, I'm Hannah Jo. It's a huge honor to be sitting here with you, Alex. A year ago, I didn't even know this wonderful program existed. I went from my first time being a guest analyst to HTFN's vlogger to co-host of Girls on Deck, and now to part-time host of our main show, Hitting the Field. The amount of gratitude and love I have for every single member of this program is too much to put into words. Alex, I'm gonna brag on you a little bit.
That's me.
There's a lot of reasons that I look up to you, and I feel honored to be on the same show with you. You're not only incredibly smart,
I don't know about that
but
one.
you're willing to learn even more. You're genuine and kind and caring, and it comes across not only on camera, but also in the way that you interact with your guests on and off camera. But the most important thing you've taught me, that to be a good host of Hitting the Field Network's main show, you need to have the right amount of sass. You gotta be unafraid to say what you really think. You gotta encourage your guests to say what they think and then absolutely roast them when it turns out they were wrong. You gotta be able to start a fight and keep it going, all in good fun, of course. And that's what I'm most excited to bring to the table. Not good, but great content modeled after what you've already been doing all year, Alex. Sassiness and all. Thank you so much again. I can't wait to be one of your hosts for Hitting the Field.
Well, that's our show. Hannah, I'm going to let you close this out. You're the new host. Close it out.
All right. Well, we won't see you next week. We'll be out for MLK Junior Day, but we'll be back the following Monday, and we can't wait to see you guys. Peace.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats.